Thank you for the introduction. When we embarked on this journey more than 2 years ago with our One Ocean Foundation, investigating ocean sustainability and ocean economy, we quickly realized that business organizations were not really in the center of the debate. According to scientific data, 80% of the ocean pollution originates from land-based activities. And timing is crucial. We strongly believe in the key role of business in fostering sustainable information. Therefore, we launched our first research, published in 2019, devoted to investigating business awareness and actions with regard to ocean sustainability, considering all types of industries, ocean and non-ocean related, with a focus on the Mediterranean Sea. Now, what is new in this report? Following the same approach, we have broadened the perspective and providing a global analysis of business awareness and responses to ocean challenges.
Thank you, Jan, for introducing One Ocean Foundation and the goal of this research. I have now the pleasure to illustrate the main findings. Ocean economy generates 2.6 trillion gross value added and provides 168 million jobs. Moreover, the ocean economy contributes with 3.3% of the world GDP. As you can see in this slide, each of the word ocean has its own specificity. In 2017, Atlantic and Pacific Ocean generated almost 1.8 trillion GVA. This represents 70% of the overall ocean economy. In terms of employment, the Pacific Ocean has the largest share of employees, with almost 50% of the ocean total. In the second part of our research, we've been analyzing industrial pressure on ocean health. We conducted a scientific-based review involving 56 scientists from social and natural science from all around the world. And we've been investigating both direct and indirect pressure on ocean and marine ecosystem. We've been using the European Union Good Environmental Status as a measure of the pressure. The Good Environmental Status descriptors are 11, as they are represented in the slides, and they include biodiversity, contaminants, marine litter, eutrophication, and other dimensions that you can see in the slide. Our analysis of the industrial pressure on marine environment is illustrated in these slides, where we have created a heat map where on one axis we have the 11 descriptor of the good environmental status, and on the other we have the 17 industrial sectors. The highest pressure are indicated in red, the lowest in yellow, and gray means no pressure acknowledged. Our findings are aligned with other scientific report recently issued with regard to the effect of climate change and contaminants on ocean acidification. They show that ocean-based industries have direct pressure. However, indirect pressure from other sectors are relevant too. In particular, 3 descriptors look compromised. First, introduction of contaminants. Second, marine biodiversity. And third, pollution of the ocean through marine litter. In the third part of our research, we try to analyze the level of commitment of companies towards sustainability in ocean-related issues. And we analyze the level of adoption of Sustainable Development Goals, and in particular, the SDGs 14, Life Below Water. We consider the adoption of SDGs 14 as a proxy of the attention and the action towards ocean-related issues. Our sample consists of 1,664 companies from 16 industries, plus 69 companies in the ocean-related industry. In order to perform our research, we used natural language processing and lexicometry methodologies. Now, as you can see in the slides, our findings suggest that 60% of the companies currently discuss SDGs in their sustainability reports and mention on average 4 SDGs. SDGs 14, Life Below Water, is among the least mentioned by companies, and only 7% of the companies report it. Not surprisingly, the attention to SDGs 14 is higher among the companies in the ocean industry. 20% of these companies include these SDGs in their sustainability reports. Following the pattern of our previous research, we have analyzed the level of awareness and the activation of companies in terms of mitigation of their pressure through adequate responses. Our sample in this case is based on 626 companies. We've been using the same methodology with 200 keywords to measure the awareness and the activation. As it is represented in the slide, building on these two dimensions, companies have been categorized into 4 clusters. Sustainability leaders, 26% of the companies in our sample, are simultaneously aware and active. On the opposite, 31 of companies are not aware and not active, laggards. Then we have 2 intermediate situations. 25% of companies is aware but inactive, locked in, and the remaining 80% is unaware but active, concerned. In order to address ocean challenges, it is necessary to focus on both dimensions and unlock awareness and activate business responses through specific action. More detail can be found in our report. Moreover, we dedicated a focus on sustainability leaders and compared this cluster with other companies in our sample. As you can see in the slide, sustainability leaders can be found in most industries, both ocean and non-ocean related. Sustainability leaders reveal superior attitude with regard to innovation practices and sustainable management of their supply chain. As you can see in the graph, they are 2 times more active in developing initiatives for plastic reduction, and they use more actively tools such as life cycle assessment and eco-design. Moreover, they are much more engaged with suppliers and distributors, and they are more engaged in providing training to suppliers. We know that large part of the ocean pressure is related to business supply chain activities. Therefore, we decided to focus on best practice with regard to supply chain management and specifically investigating ocean-related industries. We have divided the supply chain into 3 main parts. On the one hand, we focus on procurement and design, then operation and logistics, and finally waste management. I can now illustrate 3 brief examples of best practices. As you can see in the slide, with regard to procurement and design, shipbuildings and repair is extremely interesting. They are focusing on sustainable design, developing solutions for the reduction of fuel consumption. On operation and logistics, maritime transportation focus the attention to speed reduction programs in specific critical areas. On waste management, I mentioned the case of fisheries and aquaculture, where they are trying to convert waste products from fish farm into renewable and fertilizers. We investigated the level of diffusion of transparency and disclosure initiative with regard to the sustainability at large and specifically ocean issues. Our findings show that 86% of companies adopt sustainability frameworks and standards such as GRI or United Nations Global Compact. On the other hand, none of these standard initiatives and indexes are specifically designed to provide focused support or guidance on ocean-related transparency and disclosure. I now give the word to Jan for the final remarks.
Thank you, Stefano. So where do we go from here? We're in the process of forming a task force connecting business and finance, science, civil society, and government in order to form standard guidelines and procedures, KPIs, to establish a global ocean index. This in order to help investor decisions, transparency, and most importantly of all, help our oceans' health and conservancy. Big thank you to our partners for supporting us in this research.
And thank you for your attention.